What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Punch Club. My name is Splattercat. Very happy to have you here today as we hang out for a little while and continue to train in the rain in Spain, on the plane, maybe on a train. I don't know, Dufresne. We had mixed up our routine a little bit in the previous episodes, and it's working out pretty well. I'm starting to beat in on the way to beat characters that are high agility, high strength. Most of it has to do with mimic techniques because you got to be able to fire right back when they fire at you. I'm thinking running that in combination with the dodge attack that reflects 40% of their damage back at them. It puts you in a very, very, very strong position to deal the same amount, if not more, damage at your opponent when they come at you full bore like that. We might be able to go 22s today on agility. That would help. I don't know. We're fighting for these skill points, though. We really sincerely are. We're fighting hard. Our character hasn't slept in about 40 days. There's a real wrath that burns inside of him for the destruction of Kogan. He's going after him. He's coming for you, Kulk. He's coming for you. I wasn't a Hulk Hogan fan when I was a kid. I was an Ultimate Warrior fan. I was on the opposite side of the aisle. The Ultimate Warrior was the shit. And I remember when they had the WrestleMania or whatever the hell it was, where Hulk Hogan fought Ultimate Warrior. It was like, what? Like my little child mind was blown. Just gone, exploded. I remember if Ultimate Warrior won that one now. It's been so long. It's been so long. Rice Eater appears to have increased our training capacity to about 400 a day if everything is completely and totally recharged, all things considered. Let's go back up here. We need to talk to our dear friend Adrian and see how much money she wants in order to love us again. Yay, more presents.
Oh my god, I love you so much. You're the coolest. Here, let me give you kisses and love squeezins.
Ugh. Alright, see, this is the thing. She stonewalls you. She gets kind of just like, meh, 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 meh. You don't have time for me. Buy me more expensive gifts and then maybe I'll love you again someday. I ain't saying she a gold digger, but she definitely ain't. But she definitely ain't messing around with any broke boxers. I'll tell you that much. Right now. There we go. We're back in love again. Should help out for a little while. Another 4 days or so. I would like to eat some food. It is good. Put it in my tummy or you're rude. Perfect. A little bit of coffee up in there. Got a little bit of time left until Kogan. I think it's enough time to solidify our 22s. I want our fight strategy to be sitting on 22s. Also, we should probably take a couple swings at this tire for a while. Our strength is falling off, and I think 4 is the magical sweet spot. 5 is a bit too much to where I'm running out of stamina every single time I fight, and 4 makes it so I can still recover from the stamina loss if I really, really need to. Whereas 3 doesn't seem to deal enough damage, and 2 makes it so that I hit like a flea. I'm more of an annoyance to most of my opponents than anything else once we start doing 3 or 4 damage a hit. Let's train those on up and we'll be good to go. I don't think we'll be able to keep the 22 today. We'll probably keep it tomorrow. Maybe. It's a long, arduous process once you get to the top end of these meters. There's our 22 again. Now that that's recharged, let's go ahead and hit the bag for a while. That's where we're going to make our biggest set of progress with agility. This is where we want to seal the deal for the day. We're still going to lose the 22, but we should be able to get it filled up enough to where the loss won't be quite as pervasive or invasive or painful or whatever you want to call it. Use whatever adjective you want to use. Actually, we almost held on to it that day. We almost held on to it. Alright, punch the remaining out on that one. We'll do pull-ups after this. The pull-ups are done. We gotta sign up for another movie fight. And, you know, I would party and I would do all that stuff to get our stats up faster. The problem is that it makes time go by and you lose stats so quickly that you don't really want to use that as a principal strategy until your stats are at the point that you want them to be at. And you can afford to lose a couple points just bouncing in between each fight. Going easy mode on things. Come on now. Drag that thing on up to the ceiling. We will make it today. They all said we wouldn't, but we are stronger. Those pull-ups right there suck. They hurt my wrist. And basically, it's a bicep pull-up. So you're going in, and you've got your fist facing your face, facing you. and it's one-handed, and so you wrap the other hand around your wrist while you're going up, and it focuses more on the arm that's doing most. Like, it still allows one arm to assist, but the main arm is doing most of the workout. I fiddled around with those the other day after seeing them in game, and I was like, those are kind of nasty. They don't feel so good. They feel like, eh. And I don't mean they don't feel so good as in like you're feeling the burn. Like, you're supposed to feel the burn when you work out, but it feels like it puts too much pressure on my wrist. I get like a real... I'm thinking that might not actually be a real pull-up move. I don't know. Either that or it's possible that emulating it from a video game, my form is bad. And never underestimate the amount of damage you can do when your form is bad. Believe me, you can destroy yourself if your form's terrible. I've seen people do bad pull-ups and just like annihilate their backs and just mess themselves up all over the place. Every now and again you see somebody at a gym where you're just like, really, somebody should tell them not to do that anymore. But people at the gym always get offended if you just like walk up unsolicited and you're like, hey man, your form's bad. Don't do that, you're gonna hurt yourself. And then you won't be working out at all once you hurt yourself. You'll be done like dinner. I would love to get a round 1 knockout. Nope. Ah, well, looks like we're going to get the freebie points today. Getting our welfare points. Ah, well. That's such a that's such a disdainful term. I remember people used to use that all the time in World of Warcraft. You got to get your welfare points in arenas because you can't get a good rating. Oh, man. People used to use that all the time. They used to use non-factor all the time, too. Like, yeah, we're going up against so-and-so's team in a couple days, and I think they're just a bunch of non-factors. I'm not worried about it. Not worried about it at all. He talks a big game, but he's a non-factor. I'm like, God, that's such a hand-waving term. Call somebody a non-factor. And I ain't talking about the fact they don't like Indian bread. The non-factor. Lots of restaurants have the non-factor. That sounds delicious. I could use some naan right now. My cat took a dump, and it smells like coffee. Is that weird? Is that like an odd thing? Should I call a doctor? It's strange that we're dealing no damage right now. You may want to try actually, putting your... Oh, God. Yeah, I don't know how Mimic Technique works. It looks like you have to pop it like anything else. And it looks like you can combo, because each time we use that, it looks to me like our character is reflecting the exact same damage multiple times for like the rest of the turn. It's hard to tell. Huh. It's a hard thing to get a read on. Yeah, I don't know. We're just going for the booby prize today anyways. It's not like we're going all the way to the end. After that, I may focus pretty heavily on partying and just like doing other things. Seeing if maybe we can get in there. I probably should have pulled Mimic Technique. The nice thing about Mimic Technique, it's free. So, sometimes you can fish out some extra damage and it doesn't cost you any stamina or anything else. Pretty cool ability if you consider that, but I shouldn't have played it versus this guy. I don't think this guy has the actual strength to have us benefit from either of those. I think instead what I would rather do is go all in on him. We're in kind of a weird build right now. Not reflecting any damage. My hope is that I won't catch too many feet to the face while enacting this strategy. Alright, I'm catching too many feet to the face here. Even making it to the 4th round is starting to look sketchy. Suffer! He's not proccing our reflection. It's disappointing. I hate it when I run abilities and then the character never uses them. Drives me nuts. I'd be like, well, why did I put it in the lineup then if you weren't going to use it? I do wish you had some limited control over the priority of moves. So that if you're up in a fight, like, the further to the left they were, the more likely it would be that he would use them. The further to the right, the least likely. It wouldn't be a guarantee per se, but maybe it would add like a plus 10% modifier to the thing most left. And it would shift everything else's down, its chance of being moved accordingly, or being used accordingly. Let's go ahead and fight the next fight. I will probably... This guy's a strength build, so we probably want to go in on him with the build that we just had a minute ago. Which is this guy right here. I hadn't considered the reflective effects of actually hitting him for the damage he's hitting me for. It's a little concerning. Huh. There you go. Run that same strategy. There you go. Keep them on the floor. Make your foes get down on the floor, on the floor. There it is. Get down forcibly. Next up, we got the agility guy. This is all becoming too routine for me. Since we're running the agility guy right now, I'll probably go in on something like that. Be very aggressive the first time around. And then we'll hope that we don't gas out in the beginning. If we don't gas out, it should be cool. The extra agility that we have now, we've actually gotten up to 22, which is really, really, really high agility. Like, no joke. 22 agility is pretty hardcore. That's enough to make most strength characters shit their pants and just hope that they can land tormenting strikes on you. Because if they don't, the fight is not going to work out in their favor. Pretty profitable first round right there. Pretty profitable first round, but we're definitely going to want to drop Cutthroat, and then we're going to want to put in weight. It's not the most offensive strategy, but sometimes you got to play carefully. It is what it is. I don't want to gas out and have him make a comeback. I have seen horrible comebacks happen. He still has HP left. Huh. I guess I'll take that right now. And then we'll go back and we'll spar. That means we got the Kulk Kogan fight so that we can move up to number 3. Ryo's going to be problematic, but I think... I actually think based on his ability list, it won't be too bad. Kine might be a major issue, too. We'll kind of just have to look. I think we should be able to handle Kulk Kogan without too many problems. Still, let's go back and train with Silver. I never realized that when you click something, you can't, like... Oh, apparently we already did that for today. Alright then, let's go grab some pizza. Pizza time! Everybody loves pizza. Who doesn't love pizza? Pizza's the best. I have a friend who's lactose intolerant. He still eats pizza. He'd be like, yeah, I know I'm gonna shit like a shotgun in 2 hours, but I'm gonna eat it anyways because I love pizza and I don't care. My bowel obstruction can deal with it. Sorry about that organizational snafu. I just noticed the floor is reflecty. You see that shit right there? Like, how would you even... That'd be such a pain in the ass to make with pixel art. Because you would have to raise the tint of everything. Like, I know enough about Photoshop, and I know enough about fiddling with stuff graphically that, like, that would be a pain in the ass. That would take forever. And then from there, you got to get the angles and stuff right. Although the angles are slightly off. Like, on the fridge, I think. It's slightly off. Doesn't matter, though. Pedantry! I couldn't do it, so I can't complain about it neither. You guys want to fight Kulk Kogan right now? I don't know if this is a wise idea. Ah, whatever. Gotta take chances to make money and be rich and famous for kicking people. Let's take that, and then cross your fingers and hope that he doesn't hit us ever. Because it's our only hope. Just as long as we don't get hit, we should be fine. Aside from that, though, we're kind of screwed if we get hit. Yeah, exactly. Like that. And exactly. Perfect. That is exactly what I was talking about. Luckily, he appears to be losing stamina at a ridiculous rate. Oh, he gassed us out, though. Oh, shit. That's not good. I don't know what to do. Fight's actually fairly even if you look at the health bars. We're not doing terrible. We could be doing better, but... Oh, I put in the wrong ability. No! Oh, we're so toast. Stop attacking, you putz! I put in the wrong ability. They kind of look similar. I don't know. It was an accident. I didn't mean to. If we get really lucky right now, which I doubt we will. Yeah, we got so close, though. So when do we get to fight him again? We lose fame? Oh, that sucks. So they make you grind it out again? Dude, can somebody please tell the development team that nobody enjoys grinding and making an entire game based around grinding is a shitty idea? Like, who was it that was like, we should make the entire game a giant grind? Everything you do in this game should set you back 30 minutes. Every single thing. The fights will be based entirely on luck and have no skill involved whatsoever. You will line up abilities. It's my fault that I lost, by the way. I queued up the wrong ability, but that losing 100 fame blows. Because that means I gotta do that shitty TV show thing again. Ew. Yeah, and I can't do that for a couple of days. I do the branded income thing, but it's like, I don't know how much I'm gonna get out of this. Like, if it just adds another 10 to the pile, that doesn't seem very worth it to me. Oh, it doubles. So if that went up to 80 a day, that might be worth it, but it still sets you back pretty far. Still a little rough. Still a little rough. That also hurt our cash flow pretty considerably. Let's go back downstairs. God, that was all my fault. I feel hella stupid right now. I put in the wrong ability. That second round. That second round got us because I wasn't paying attention. Jesus. Still sucks that you lose fame for losing, though. Because a lose can give you just as much fame as a win. I mean, nobody seemed to be that mad at Manny Pacquiao. Like, I don't think he got less famous because he lost to Mayweather or whatever. In fact, he probably got more famous because then he lined up another rematch where he gets to make even more money. I don't know, I wouldn't be that upset about it. Like, I'm at the point in my career where when I win, and when I lose, I win too. I think that's where you want to be in life. That's where you want to be in life. Even when you lose, you want to be in a position where you win in life. How dope would that be? That's what ballers do. That's what hardcore ballers do. Let's continue working this agility, because we weren't dodging nearly enough against ye old Kulk. He landed about 50% of his shots against us. I was counting, and he landed a lot of hits. In fact, we were doing perfectly fine until we started dodging over and over and over again. It appears to be the dodging over and over again that tapped us out in conjunction with the reflective damage. So, for him, the smarter idea might be to let strength fall off for a little while, so that we're not going through our stamina quite as fast, and we'll just play like an all-out dodge strategy against him. I can't tell you it's going to work, but we can give it a go. Got to change things up somehow, and it seems good enough to me. I'm at 23 skill points. I think I'm one thing away from getting my kick damage multiplier too, so we should probably go talk to Silver. And in so talking, when we get with the gab with him, this should line us up with enough points to finish this off. Let's just go all in on him, and it doesn't matter. We paid him his money, we get our skill points. That's the nice thing, is like I said, you want to be in a position in life where even when you lose, you win. That's how the most successful people, I know that's how successful people, it's either that or exploiting stupid people. Those are the two strategies. You can exploit stupid people and you can just be an asshole, like that Ty Lopez guy, he is a con artist. I'm just letting you know, he is a con artist. He, like, basically has summarized things from, like, the Book of the Five Rings and, you know, The Art of War, and then he's mixed that up with a whole bunch of, like, sociological, psychological mumbo-jumbo, and he uses it to cheat impressionable idiots out of their money. That's how he got his Lamborghini right here. I don't like con men. Con men irritate me. It frustrates me that people fall for their shit. Makes me angry when I think about it. But, like, stop allowing these people to live lavish lifestyles. Why does this one require me to wear a tutu? So what they're saying here is anybody that kicks wears a tutu. I'm a little offended. Slightly offended. I don't think I've ever kicked anybody, though. Kicking is something that doesn't really register for me, like in a altercation. Like, really? You kicked him? I guess whatever works, man. I mean, I wouldn't kick him, but I guess if that's your strategy. Let's get a little bit of health back here. Do we have another fight lined up? Can I film a movie yet? I can do it tomorrow. Let's get our health filled back up over at Casey Jones's. Cool. And that means we can get back to work, because we actually have had the tendency to shirk. Yeah, it's better to shirk than to gurk, unless you're really, really into gurking, when you should be working out. I suppose that would come down to personal preference. It would go man to man and woman to woman, I suppose. It would bounce back and forth like a bolt of chain lightning, dealing forth 2d6 of damage. plus intelligence. Is Chain Lightning still good? Chain Lightning was pretty dope back in the day when I played D&D. I don't know if Chain Lightning is still good. It may or may not be. It's been a long time since I played last. And so I don't know what they have lined up anymore, like what all the builds the cool kids are running were. When we played 3.5, you were outlawed from playing Rangers. That was our rule, because Rangers were hella broken with multi-shot. Multi-shot, power shot, and they had a third one that stacked with it, and you could do them all like at the same time. And our Ranger would routinely kill like 7 to 8 mobs a fight, whereas the rest of us would barely even arrive at the first mob before he had killed them all with his bow. It was a frustrating build. It was one of those oversights. And so our DM had to make it so you could only take certain abilities, because other people just didn't even want to play anymore. They're like, we don't even contribute. He kills everything before we even arrive. We might as well just do storyline stuff nonstop. Kitten attack, sorry. I was just assailed by a kitten. And by that I mean he sailed into my lap and was like, hug me! And then he headbutted the microphone. If you listen really, really carefully, you might hear his little fuzzy head bouncing off of the microphone as he tries to get my attention. He'd be like, why don't you love me? You love the internet more than me. And I'd be like, Ollie, definitely I love the internet more than you. You are the worst, Ollie. You are the worst. My cat is... I have a big fat orange cat who's the best. He's like a teddy bear that lives in my house, and you can like do whatever you want to him, and he never gets angry, and he'll never resist. And then there's Ollie, who is basically a whirlwind of fur and fangs like 90% of the time, only briefly punctuated by those random days where he decides he wants to be petted 2.5 times, and then he bites you right afterwards. So it's tough. It's very tough, I guess is what I'll say. We need more money. We're broke as a joke right now. We need to get a pay every single day, so we can fight Kogan and get up in this face. Yeah, that bill seems fine to me. Whatever. I think reflective is probably better. And kick dropper should be a passive, so... The hell was that? You just machine gun kicked yourself. Like inverse Chun-Li right now. That was amazing. I don't know what just happened. It kind of looked like a bug for a second. I don't know. Either way, it worked to our benefit, so I ain't gonna complain about it. I win! Ding ding. There's been no ding ding this entire game. Have you realized that? There's not been a single ding ding this entire game. That kind of bothers me. There should be more ding dings. Like ding ding before you go into the ring. That's like 90% of getting stoked up for a fight is the ding ding. Maybe the ding ding is copywritten. Ow! He got one punch off. Bastard. And this is actually pretty simple. We'll just swap that out for... Nope, wrong ability. There. He's doing a pretty good job of blocking me right now. Be a little upsetting. Huh. I don't feel like kick dropper is doing anything right now. Like, granted, we are running a punch, but... Here, we'll run another kick. We'll run another kick just to see what'll happen. There. I want to see if we deal considerably more damage this way. Oh, we're rotating legs now. Doing like a little Cossack dance on this guy's forehead. Just like, bop, 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 hey, bop, 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 hey. Those dances are dope. You know you gotta have like some killer arm strength and shit for some of the moves they pull with those. I'm always impressed whenever I see like a good video of it online. I'm like, damn! That dude just launched himself like 8 feet in the air with just his arms. Hardcore parkour. I don't feel like we're dealing that much more damage. It might just be a perceptional thing though. We did lose a point of strength right around the time we swapped up the build and bought that ability, though. So it might be offset by the fact that we lost that point of strength. But we're running out of agility. I'm sorry, we're running out of stamina so fast. Continue the fight. This guy here, we won't want to run that on him. We'll want to run at one. And then conceivably, it might be wise to run at him, too. He blocked me. You can't block. Hey, use the ability that I slotted specifically for this moment in the fight where he hits you for 27 damage. Oh, dude, you're a putz. You're killing me right now. At least fish out a knockdown before the end of the round. Do something for me here. There we go. I don't get why he should always use that. It seems like it's pretty binary in its usage. It says on the ability, like, deals damage back when you proc it. So, like, shouldn't that hit be for 14 whenever I send it back? It says you deal the opponent's damage back to him at the beginning of an attack phase. Or is it talking about... I don't know if that has to do with a dodge or if that just, like, checks to see how strong he is. And then, I don't know. Too much ambiguity in the wording. Sometimes I wish some of these things actually said what they do. It says you deal the opponent's damage back to him at the beginning of each attack, or at the beginning of the attack phase. So does that mean I get a free attack at the beginning of the phase that strikes with his damage? Or, you know, does it mean that if I get hit, then I reflect the damage back at the end of the next turn? Like, what does that mean? Be more specific with your wordings. Stop confusing me so much. I guess I'll run punches on him. Whatever. If he dodges enough, this guy could actually pull this one out. It just depends on how much he decides to be dodgy. I mean, realistically, it'd be cool for me to just dodge him to death, but... Ooh, that was a good combo right there. That was a pretty smexy combo. That was a combo that had a little bit of that habanero fire sauce on it. Got a little bit of that Cholula. Cholula is one of my favorite things in life. We've never talked about Cholula on the channel, and I think that that's a mistake. Cholula is the superior hot sauce. Yes, it's not the spiciest, but it's the perfect blend of herbs on top of, like, Tabasco. It's not like Tabasco, actually. Tabasco's got a completely different flavor, but I like Cholula the best. Cholula's hella good. It comes in a little bottle just like Tabasco does or whatever. There we go. Let me have my prize, please. Look me in my eyes when you give me my prize, because I need to get that money. Need to make them despise me for my sudden rise. Way in the skies. I got nothing left. I don't know, guys. We're out of time for the day. I'll see y'all later. This is Punch Club. Bye!